Hi guys. So today I'm gonna be making a response video to a YouTuber by the name of Ben Beckman Theories, and he recently made a video, Yonko versus Admirals, and you guys should know me by now. I gotta stop the Admiral downplay. So let's just go ahead and take a look at his video, see if I can counter some of his points, some of his arguments, some of his thoughts. Hello guys, and welcome to my new video. Today I will talk about one really popular topic in the community. It is the fight between Admirals and Yonkous. So he's going to be talking about Admirals and Yonko 1v1ing. I wish I could fast forward on Twitter. Really short video. Alright, so he says, first of all, I want to say that Admirals are not all equal. I think that Al-Qainu is stronger than the rest of the Admirals, especially after his fight with Al-Kiji. Right now, Al-Qainu is probably one of the strongest people in the world. He's definitely stronger, so is Al-Kiji, not by too much. I feel like people over-exaggerate, act like what Rayleigh said is some sort of Zenkai, like huge Zenkai boost, and that's really not what it is. So I mean, alright, so we can even see that first mates stand a chance against Admirals. Ben Beckman stopped Kizaru, Marco was able to equally fight Kizaru and also kicked out Kiji. Alright, so let's stop right there. So he says right here, Ben Beckman stopped Kizaru. So first off, we know Kizaru was a troll, right? He has trolled about being scared of fodder pirates. He's trolled about being scared of PTS Luffy. I'm sure he's trolled about being scared of other things that I don't remember, but he's a troll. He taunts people. And in this specific instance, I mean, moments later, Kizaru gets up and tries to kill Luffy anyways, right? And he leaves Ben Beckman sitting there. Ben Beckman is just looking up at him like, damn, he wants to continue. It's like, Ben Beckman didn't do anything. Kizaru continued and fought anyways. He was just trolling Ben Beckman in that instance. He then says Marco was able to equally fight with Kizaru and also kicked out Kiji. So they just had a clash, really. It was like an encounter. Marco displays his overpowered regen hacks. Marco kicks Kizaru, and Kizaru trolls him mid-attack. You know, Marco accepts that he's not hurting him, and Kizaru is flung to the wall, right? Marco also blindsides Aokiji, flings him to the wall. But the problem with this is, like, Kizaru didn't take any damage, and neither did Aokiji from these attacks, right? So you can't just look at, oh wow, well he kicked the Admiral and they went flying. That means that he's like at that level. Not exactly, right? So Aokiji, all the way back when he was trying to kill or steal Nico Robin, I forgot which one it was. Him and Luffy had their little fight, right? And Luffy was actually able to kick Aokiji high into the air, right? He kicked him and like Aokiji flew up into the air. Obviously, Aokiji took no damage, just like they weren't taking any damage when Marco was doing it. So the Admirals just really don't seem to be like sturdy people. I know that might sound weird, but they're not. Like they're getting kicked and stuff around, but they're not taking any damage, right? Okay. He then says also Sabo fought Fujitora equally. This is not true. The anime might have displayed something differently, but the manga makes it very clear. So the majority of their fight is actually off screen, but when we pan back to them, we're actually shown that Sabo was heavily scratched up and he is fatigued, right? Like he's panting. And Fujitora is none of those things. He's not panting, he's not scratched up, not bloodied up, not fatigued. Um, Fujitora then goes on to tell Sabo that he is not trying to kill Luffy, right? Fujitora is just using Sabo as a roadblock, so he's not forced to move forward with his mission and kill Luffy, right? So what he's saying, and Sabo even calls Fujitora out for not trying, right? Sabo actually calls him out, like he can tell Fujitora is not trying. So this means that Fujitora not trying casually had the upper hand on Sabo, someone who I think we can all agree is definitely top Yonko commander level, right? So this is not true. They didn't fight equally. This is a misconception. However, we also what happened when Marco went against Al-Qainu. Yes, and Al-Qainu is extremely relative with all the other admirals. We have no reason to believe that they're not. We'll get into that in a second. I wish I could fast forward this shit. Okay, so Marco couldn't do anything against Al-Qainu. It was clearly different than his fights against Kizaru and Aokiji, and that is not all. Al-Qainu was able to easily fight all the commanders plus Crocodile. And this was after his fight against Whitebeard. Exactly. Look what he says right here. Alkainu was able to easily fight all the commanders plus Crocodile, and this was after his fight with Whitebeard. And we know that Alkainu is extremely relative with Aokiji. They had a 10-day fight. Him and Aokiji are extremely relative, and look what Alkainu could do. Okay? This tells us that Aokiji could also do this too, and we have no reason to believe that Kizaru or any of the other admirals, for that matter, are like on a whole like level below them or anything. This is this weird headcanon that people started coming up with, and it's not like a complete common consensus, but a lot of people believe that. There's no evidence for that at all. So yeah, you see, Alkainu heavily injured could do this. The other admirals could too. Okay. The admirals weren't really trying in Marineford anyways. I mean, are we gonna say that Vista is Emperor level because he had a scuffle with Mihawk? Like, no, come on now. Let's be a little realistic. I mean, Kizaru after he blindsided Marco and he put him down, he could have killed Marco. Marco was down. He was out of the fight. He could have killed him, but he didn't. Same goes for Aokiji and Jozu. After Aokiji one-shot him, he could have killed Jozu, but he didn't. Right? I mean, it's like they're not trying in this war. Kizaru literally laser beams a key out of Luffy's hand from like meters away. He could have shot Luffy in the head. Like, come on now. Now let's talk about an actual Yonko versus Admiral. Whitebeard definitely wasn't the strongest Yonko back in Marineford. We don't know that. This is I understand this is definitely a common consensus that Whitebeard during Marineford was the weakest emperor. However, I would argue a few points. But the main point is we don't know if this is true. What I would say is, like, in my opinion, like at this point in time in Marineford, in Oda's head, okay, those are the key words there. In Oda's head, I personally think that he may have had Whitebeard as the strongest character. Okay, he then says he had heart attacks, was old, and took a lot of damage. Okay, this is true, but this right here does not prove that Whitebeard was the weakest emperor. This just proves that Whitebeard was not his prime self, which I agree with. Okay, but just because he had heart attacks and was old and sick does not mean he wasn't still the strongest. All right, I could bring up a lot of statements from his introduction in Marineford and even in the New World, all implying that Whitebeard was above any emperor, right? And there's no indication that it's only talking about prime Whitebeard, right? So we have to assume that, well, Oda is just talking about Whitebeard all the way up until he died. I mean, I could make that argument. Who knows? People could be right. I honestly think, yeah, there is a chance maybe Whitebeard wasn't the strongest emperor anymore, but it's headcanon. You know, we don't know for sure, even though it's a common consensus. That's my point. But it definitely could be true. I'm not going to deny that. Okay, so he says he defeated Alkainu. He says, however, everyone forgets that Alkainu took half of Whitebeard's face off and made 2 holes in his chest. Well, the second one was anime only. That's really impressive, and not to mention that he wasn't killed. Okay, so first off, Whitebeard blindsided Alkainu, right? In my opinion, I wouldn't count anything as a blindside. I feel like if Whitebeard blindsided any other top tier, meaning any other admiral or emperor for that matter, the fight, the scuffle would have went down the same way as it did with Alkainu and Whitebeard. I don't really. I mean, that's just maybe not with every single one. Like Kaido and Big Mom, their durability seems to be off the charts, so I'm not so sure about those two. But we know that Blackbeard and Shanks don't have that durability, right? Blackbeard, I'm not even gonna have to explain Blackbeard. We all know he doesn't have that durability on Kaido and Big Mom's level. But Shanks, I mean, a sea monster bit his arm off. Okay, even if you want to argue, oh well, he let that happen, but the point is that couldn't happen to Kaido or Big Mom. Their durability is too damn overpowered. It can't happen. Another thing, Shanks was majorly scarred over his eye by like a commander level Blackbeard. Right? This is Blackbeard, like back in the day, like was able to scar Shanks when he was already like an emperor. Okay, so I mean, it's just, I mean, I don't know. He definitely doesn't have the same durability as those two. My whole point is that, okay, well let's continue. So he says, not to mention he wasn't killed or anything. He easily came back and continued to fight him. Exactly, and we know for a fact, if Alkainu could come back and get the upper hand against the remaining Whitebeard commanders, Aokiji could definitely do it too. He's extremely relative, and we have no reason to believe the other admirals aren't. Yeah, that's a pretty gruesome pick right there. Alkainu definitely grew a lot from this fight and during the 2 years in general. He is definitely not the same Alkainu from Marine Ford. Same goes for Aokiji. Okay, we don't know this. I feel like people majorly over exaggerate what Rayleigh said. Rayleigh said that hockey can flourish in the heat of battle. Okay, first off, this is assuming Aokiji and Alkainu are not in their primes anymore, right? This is assuming that they're already not in their prime, right? So if they are in their prime, well, they can't get any stronger because their strongest is their prime. However, the main thing is that people act like Alkainu, like, oh, after Aokiji and Alkainu fought, yeah, now Alkainu, he's emperor level, right? People are like, yep, now he's at that level. Not before though. But the problem is that people act like Alkainu got this Super Saiyan Zenkai boost from the fight with Aokiji. People really misinterpret what Rayleigh said. Like, don't get me wrong, Aokiji and Alkainu definitely got a bit stronger from these fights, right? Yeah, they're probably a little bit above the other admirals, but it's not like they're on this different level, right? Like, I mean, after Luffy fights the commanders and stuff, do you think like, oh, if he fought them again, he would just beat the shit out of them? Like, come on, let's be real now. They definitely do get a little stronger after these extreme fights and stuff, but it's not like a whole Super Saiyan Zenkai boost or something. People are really over exaggerating what Rayleigh said here. So no, like it definitely Alkainu and Aokiji are not like on a whole different level from the other admirals now. It still would be an extreme diff fight for any of them to defeat the other admirals. Like, it's still extreme diff fight. Let's finally answer that question. Can Admiral defeat a Yonko? I think that Kizaru and Fujitora can defeat Luffy. As for Aokiji, I would say that he can give a good fight to Blackbeard and Big Mom, maybe even defeat them. And as for Alkainu, I think that he is defeating Big Mom and Blackbeard to lose to Shanks and Kaido. We don't know if Shanks and Kaido are stronger. It's all speculation. I believe, yeah, they could be, but it's still speculation. We don't know. Like, Big Mom could be the strongest for all we know. I don't think that personally, but who knows, man? So yeah, my final answer is that it depends which Admiral, which Yonko. And that's all for me to. Okay, so that's all for his video. I think I countered his arguments pretty well. I feel like a lot of people just don't have the greatest understanding of Marineford. I feel like I feel like however you see Marineford, that's gonna like shape your power scaling views for the rest of the story, right? For the rest of the series, for the rest of the characters, it will either skew it or it will put it on like a decent route. Like, you'll actually be decent in power scaling depending on how you look at Marineford, and how you interpret and understand things. But that's gonna be all for me today. I don't want this video to be too long. I'll be doing other response videos. Oh, I got a mic, by the way. Like a cool mic, but I mean, maybe you guys have noticed. I don't know, but you can clearly see I disagree with this video. So I mean, yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe.